Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about Precision Boost Overdrive and Curve Optimizer on AMD Ryzen CPUs. This applies to pretty much any Ryzen CPU that supports Precision Boost Overdrive. Whether you're on Ryzen 5000, 7000, or 9000, this video is for you. And I promise I'm going to keep this as simple as possible, so even if you've never touched any of this stuff before, you'll be able to follow along. So let's get right into it. So real quick, before we do anything, let me explain what Precision Boost Overdrive and Curve Optimizer actually are in plain English, because it'll make the rest of this make a lot more sense. Your CPU has a stock power limit. AMD sets it pretty conservatively by default, so the CPU doesn't run too hot on a bad cooler. PBO basically lets your CPU push itself harder whenever it has the thermal headroom to do it. So if you have a decent cooler, your CPU is just leaving performance on the table, sitting at stock settings. And Curve Optimizer is undervolting. What that means is you're telling your processor to run at the same speeds, but using less voltage to get there. And less voltage means less heat, and less heat means the CPU can boost higher and stay there for way longer. It's one of the best things that you could do for a Ryzen processor, and it literally costs you nothing. So before we get anything done, there's a few things we need to do first. And number one is going to be going to motherboard's manufacturer website, find your exact motherboard model, and download the latest BIOS version. I have a full BIOS update guide on my channel, so if you don't know how to do that, go watch that first and come back. Link will be in the description. Step 2, it's going to be downloading Benchmate and the SMU Debug Tool. Benchmate is free and it has Cinebench and HW info and a bunch of stress tests all built into one place. So it's the only benchmarking tool you need. The second thing you need is the SMU Debug Tool. This is what we're going to use to tune our Curve Optimizer values directly in Windows without having to reboot into BIOS every single time. And links to both will be in the description. Now, the next step is going to be running a baseline Cinebench R23. And this is really important, and a lot of people are going to skip it. So make sure before you touch anything in BIOS, we're going to run a baseline Cinebench R23 score, so we have something to compare against later. So open up Benchmate, you're going to double click Cinebench R23, and before you run it, make sure that you close out of everything in the background that's running. That's pretty much Discord, browsers, and a lot of other stuff, because if you have stuff running in the background, it will affect your score and give you inaccurate results. So do this every time you run Cinebench throughout this guide, not just the first time. Then you're going to run the CPU multi-core benchmark, and then you're going to write down your score, and that's going to be pretty much your baseline. Every time we make a change in the future, we're going to compare back to this number to make sure things are actually going in the right direction. Also, make sure that you go to File and check Advanced Benchmark right here, just so we're actually just testing this one time and not for a full 10 minutes. All right, so once the benchmark is done, make sure that you do write what your score is for the baseline score, just so in the future we can obviously compare it. So I am going to go ahead and write this down. This is without anything done to Precision Boost Overdrive, just the CPU running completely stopped. So once you've got that down, we're just going to go ahead and restart the computer and head over to BIOS by spamming delete or F2 whenever the PC is booting. All right, so once you're in BIOS, just make sure that you're in advanced mode and not easy mode, and we're going to find the overclocking tab, and on most boards it's going to be called something like AI tweaker, OC tweaker, or just overclocking depending on your motherboard brand. So for me, I'm going to go to advanced, and then you're going to just find AMD overclocking, and you're going to find the Precision Boost Overdrive menu. Then Precision Boost Overdrive, you're going to change it from auto to advanced, and once you do that, a bunch of options are going to drop down. So PBO limits, set this to motherboard, and this is going to tell your CPU to use whatever power limits your motherboard VRM can actually handle instead of AMD's conservative defaults. And Precision Boost Overdrive Scaler Control, aka PBO Scaler, this is what actually controls how long your CPU's boost stays at its peak. Basically controls how long the CPU can sustain its max boost clock and max voltage before it has to back off. It doesn't push the CPU beyond factory limits, it just lets it stay at the top of its range for longer. So if you have a solid cooler, like a good 240mm or a decent tower cooler, you can just pretty much set this to manual and leave it at 2x. And if you have a really good cooling setup, you could push it higher, but the more you push it, the more heat you're going to generate. So be sensible. If you're not sure, just leave it at 2x. CPU boost clock override, this lets you add up to 200 megahertz on top top of your boost clock. Now, a couple things to know here: if you're on a 9850X3D or any factory overclock chip, you can still use this setting, but just know that the more you push the boost clock override, the less headroom you're gonna have to undervolt. The two kind of work against each other, so just keep that in mind. And if you're on a 7000X3D, this setting doesn't even apply. Ignore it. You can just leave it on auto, or you can put it to 200. It has no effect. For everyone else, you can set this to positive and add up to 200 megahertz. Just do it in small steps, and then you can test stability later. You might have to drop it down to only 100. Now, before we set the curve optimizer, we need to find the global C-state control setting and disable it. And here's why in simple terms. Your CPU goes into deep sleep state when it's idle to save power, and when it suddenly needs to wake up, it has to ramp up the voltage really fast, and sometimes it just can't do that fast enough, which causes random freezes, especially after undervolting. So if we disable C-states, it removes that deep sleep entirely, so your CPU is pretty much always ready to go, but your idle temperatures might go up a tiny bit, but you just won't even notice it as long as you have a good cooler. Now we're gonna go back and go to the AMD overclocking and precision boost overdrive and head over to curve optimizer. We're gonna set this to all cores. Now you might see other guides saying to do per core tuning, and yeah, technically per core can get you a tiny bit more, but for my own testing across multiple games, the real world difference compared to all core just isn't worth the time it takes. Almost no difference. I quite literally spent more time on the per core tuning and I didn't get anything out of it. So per core tuning is a waste of time for most people that just want to play games. All core literally gets you 90% of the way there in a fraction of the time. So just set it to all core and then set the sign to negative and then set the magnitude. We're going to start at 15. Don't start at 25 or 30. Every chip is going to be different and not all of them can handle aggressive undervolting right out of the gate. Always start conservative and then work your way down. Then we're going to save and exit the BIOS. And this is pretty much going to be the last time we need to go into BIOS until the very end of this process. All right, so once you're back in the OS, again, just make sure that you close out of everything in the background. We're going to double click Benchmate again and open up Cinebench R23. And again, just go to File, make sure Advanced Benchmark is checked, and then minimum test duration is set to off. Then CPU multi-core, just go ahead and run that. And we should see that the new score is going to be way higher than the previous baseline score just from this mild -15 curve optimizer and plus 200 boost. All right, so as you can see, we pretty much got around 700 points or somewhere around there, which isn't too bad from a -15 curve optimizer. Now the next thing that we want to do is with the SMU Debug Tool. So make sure that you have it downloaded, just extract it like so and open it up like that. And this is where it gets pretty much really smooth. So instead of going back and forth into BIOS every time we want to adjust our curve optimizer, we're going to use the SMU Debug Tool, and this lets us change the curve optimizer directly in Windows, and they apply instantly with no restart needed. So just make sure that you open up your SMU Debug Tool as administrator. For me, I do need to install Pawn.io, so we're going to go ahead and install that. All right, so I'll leave this linked in the description. Just go ahead and install Pawn.io. It's going to pretty much just say it's installed. Now we should be able to open up SMU Debug Tool and just press OK on this, and we can go ahead and go to PBO and just open up Cinebench. We're going to open it up, go to PBO tab. You should see all the curve optimizer values and they're matching what you set in BIOS. So right now they should all be showing -15 across all the cores. So here's how you're going to spend the next 15 minutes tuning. Step 1, in the SMU Debug Tool, lower all your cores by 2. So if you're at -15, we're going to go to -17, hit apply, and then you can just leave SMU Debug open the whole entire time. Just close everything on your PC, Discord browsers, anything running in the background. Then run Cinebench multi-core, and remember, just close everything except Benchmate before every single run. If it completes without any errors or crashing and your score is going up compared to your baseline or previous score, write it down, you're stable at that value. Then you pretty much just go back to the SMU Debug Tool, drop it by another 2, apply, then run Cinebench again, and you just keep on repeating this cycle. And we're going to keep going until either Cinebench throws an error or your PC crashes. And once that happens, you've gone one step too far. So write down the last value that ran completely stable without any errors, and that is your chip's curve optimizer limit. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the tuning and show you guys once it gets to the crashing stage. All right, guys, so as you can see, my system is completely froze at -27. So my last stable value was -25. As you can see, it now blue screened, and it's going to automatically restart my PC. So that's pretty much what it's going to look like once you reach your full on limit. Don't be scared. Don't be alarmed. This is completely normal. This is just a part of tuning your system. So we're going to recall our last stable value, which for me was -25. Now you can go up by 1 and see if it's stable. However, for most of you, you want to go the safer route, which is going to be dropping down to the last stable value that you tried, which for me was -25, which is right below 27 by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the SMU Debug Tool. I'm going to run -25 one more time, because the main issue with this is restart stability as well. Sometimes these settings might not work after you restart or cold boot. So you need to make sure that after a restart like that, you apply it again, run Cinebench, and make sure you're getting similar scores to what you're getting at that stable value, and there's no crashing or no issues. So as you guys can see, it's at -25. It's running completely fine. I'm gonna go ahead and wait until it reaches the end. And once we found our stable limit in SMU Debug Tool, we're going to pretty much lock those values permanently in BIOS so they survive restarts and we don't have to rely on the software. All right, so as you can see, this is pretty much the highest score I've ever gotten so far, 24,224, and our baseline was 23,262 before doing any precision boost, overdrive tuning, and curve optimizer tuning. So now I'm going to restart my PC and go into BIOS one final time, and we're going to lock in these values. All right, so once we're in BIOS, just go to the advanced mode and find the curve optimizer setting again, which is going to be usually an AMD overclocking, and then precision boost overdrive, and then curve optimizer. And then we're just going to set in that value that was completely stable with SMU Debug Tool in here, and then just pretty much save and exit. All right, so once we're back in Windows, just make sure that you close out of everything, and we are going to do Cinebench one last time to confirm everything is stable with the values baked into BIOS, and our score should be around the same or match the SMU Debug Tool session that we had earlier. So as you guys can see, with this route, it was still unstable. So now I'm going to go back into BIOS and lower it from -25 to -23. All right, so we're going to go to advanced, and then AMD overclocking, accept, precision boost overdrive, curve optimizer, and then drop that down to -23 and save and exit. So again, make sure everything is closed in the background. I am going to go ahead and open up Cinebench R23 and run a multi-core. And this is why I'm showing you guys what happens whenever the PC crashes, because it's very important to know that you do have to drop it down. It doesn't matter that if it crashed once, twice, or however long, just one crash is too much. So if you guys get something like this where you run Cinebench and it's just stuck like this, it's just a weird bug, just ignore it. As you can see, I just let it run and it pretty much showed the score. Not sure why that really happened right there, but 24,111 sounds about right. That's pretty much what we got earlier, somewhere around there. So that's pretty much it. Now everything's pretty much done with the tune. We can stress test a little bit longer. However, the best way to stress test this is to just run a game and play for hours and see if it crashes. That's the best way to do it. We can spend time running Core Cycler, but given how I've been running this, it's better to just play the game and see if it crashes during then. And then another test would be just leaving the PC on for a long period of time. If the PC is frozen whenever you come back to it, or it for some reason restarted, that means your curve optimizer is too low. So those are the two ways that you can identify if it's stable after this. However, given the fact that Cinebench caught 2 blue screens back to back, I feel like it's good enough for most of you guys watching this that are doing an all core. Now per core is completely different. That's whenever Core Cycler actually makes sense, because those cores can be stable at one point and then unstable at another. If we were going to do a per core tune, we would do a Core Cycler test and let that run overnight. However, given the fact that we're not doing a per core, we're doing an all core, the best way to stress test this is to play your games for a couple of hours. If there's no crashes, no hiccups, and everything's running good, that means you're completely stable. So once everything is done and stable, here's what you're going to notice. Your CPU is going to be running cooler than before, and it's going to boost higher and stay there for longer under load. And in games, you should see an improvement in your 1% lows, which is what actually makes the game feel smoother, not just your average FPS. And the average FPS gains in gaming aren't always massive with this, but your CPU is going to run cooler and more efficiently, and it's also good for the long-term health of your CPU. And again, lower voltage means less wear on the silicon over time, so you're getting more performance and making your CPU last longer at the same time. So now we can pretty much uninstall SMU Debug Tool as it's not required anymore, and I'm going to go ahead and uninstall Pawn IO. And the reason you want to uninstall this is because some anti-cheats do not actually like Pawn IO, so you can pretty much uninstall it. And Benchmate, you can leave this installed if you want, just to check your performance here and there and check out what's going on. Now, what I'm going to show you guys is the scores between a all-core curve optimizer is what we're running right now versus a per core tune, and show you guys how it's like very marginal differences and why you shouldn't even stress about a per core tune. So I went ahead and loaded up my profile of the per core tune, and as you can see, the numbers are very different now compared to the all core tune. I'm going to go ahead and save and exit and show you guys the differences. So as you guys can see, we're getting 24,139, and previously with the all core we got 24,111. Very marginal differences, almost just run to run variance. It has absolutely no effect. It's pretty much the exact same performance as an all core tune, and that's why I don't really recommend you guys sitting there and doing a per core curve optimizer. It's really not worth it. All right, so if you're wondering what this does actually in video games and what does the performance look like, I'm going to show you guys a Call of Duty benchmark Black Ops 7 CPU FPS side of things. Just ignore everything else. But without doing this video, this is pretty much what you're going to get max, which is around 599 CPU average FPS, and 444 low fifth, and 422 low first. Now, let's just say you did an all core tune, you're gonna get 627 on the CPU and 470 and 451, which is absolutely insane. This is pretty much an amazing result right there. Now, a poor core tune, for some odd reason in this game, it just didn't like it. It's a little bit slower. Now, this could be run to run variance, but it's still relatively good performance. Now, both of these screenshots, they are using less power, less voltage than the no PBO and no CO tune, which that and all is going to help a lot in those situations where the CPU is already pegged, it's already at max power, and it just needs a little bit more thermal headroom to keep that boost. That's going to be pretty much it for this video, and if this helped, drop a like and subscribe. And if you want all this done for you, the BIOS, the curve optimizer, the RAM, the Windows side, all of it done manually for your exact hardware, go to the first link in the description and book a session with us at Zilly.net. I've worked with pros like Booga, streamers like Cypher PK, and Parasite, and I've optimized over 10,000 systems, so you're in good hands. Otherwise, guys, that's gonna be pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.